Deshmukh College of Law, Amravati. At the outset, I express my sincere tribute and salute to Honorable Dr. Panjabrao alias Bhausaheb Deshmukh sir, founder, president of our society, Sri Shivaji Education Society, Amravati. I welcome all the participants, delegates, teachers, professors, principals who have joined this meeting on behalf of Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law, Amravati, in capacity of convener of this certificate course. I, Dr. Bhagyasri Naulakhe Deshpande, welcome you all from the bottom of my heart. Today's program is divided into two sessions, that is technical session and valedictory session. Today's resource person is respected Dr. Sandhya Kalamdhad Madam, and chief guest for valedictory session is respected Dr. Vijay Kumar Chaube sir. Guest of honor respected Dr. Shaista Inamdar Madam. So we have eminent resource persons and chief guest today. Today's function will be conducted by Dr. Advocate Vaibhav Ingle sir. I would like to invite Advocate Vaibhav Ingle sir. Advocate Vaibhav sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, Dr. Advocate Vaibhav, you are audible.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to welcome our today's resource person, Dr. Sandhya P. Kalamdhad, ma'am. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce her on this last day of research methodology course at national level. Our today's resource person, Dr. Sandhya Kalamdhad, ma'am, is working as a professor in Department of Law at Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Law College, Diksha Bhuvi, Nagpur. She is having teaching experience of more than 20 years in the field of law. She has completed her LLB from Nagpur University's Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College of Law, Nagpur. She has completed her PG in criminal law from Department of Law, Pune University. She has completed her PhD on the topic Legal Intricacies and Implications of Artificial Reproductive Technology, a critical study on emerging challenges and legislative initiatives with special reference to India. Ma'am, today's resource person, she has contributed to more than 54 articles in various UGC listed journals. She has presented more than 55 papers at different national and international seminars. She has conducted more than 17 trainings. Apart from these academic distinctions, our today's resource person has also contributed on administrative side. Kalamdhad ma'am is a member of Board of Studies in Law of Rashtra Sant Tukadoji Maharaj Nagpur University. She has participated as panelist and organized and moderated many panel discussions on various topics at the college level. Ma'am is being interviewed by Akashwani from last 10 years. Ma'am has a distinction in research paper presentation and writing of articles. She received an award of Best Research Paper Award in the year 2013 by reputed international journal Patron. Best Research Paper and Presentation Award by Rashtra Sant Tukadoji Maharaj Nagpur University's Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar College of Law, Nagpur, at the National Seminar Jasta Kwaza on 22nd January 2016. Ma'am has also contributed in framing of syllabus of LLB and LLM. So without wasting much time, I would request our resource person to address this class. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. I'm so sorry, but I have some technical issue. I guess you can't see me, right? Can you see me?
Yes, ma'am.
You can see me?
No, ma'am, you're not.
Hannah? So you just give me please 1 minute. Let me fix this problem and then we'll start. Will this be okay with you?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, I guess there is some problem. So my video is not getting on. But I'll do one thing. Can you see my PPT, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, your PPT is visible.
Okay, okay. So I will join through my phone as well so that students can see me. Otherwise, they may lost their interest. So please admit me through my phone. Again, I'm joining.
Okay, yes, Sahil.
Yes, I'm doing it, madam.
Yeah. Thank you.
I hope now students can see me through my mobile.
Yes, madam, you are visible now. Please proceed.
Now see, yes, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Respected principal of the institution, Dr. Varsha Deshmukh, coordinator of this certificate course, Dr. Bhagyashree Deshpande, then co-coordinator of this particular program, that is Advocate Vaibhav Ingre. Dear research scholars, a very good morning to all of you. Uh, now, the topic which has been allotted to me is research paper writing and publication, innovative techniques. Now, look, this is a very big topic which has been allotted to me, and it is a big challenge for me to cover each and every aspect of it. But I will try my best to cover everything. Though we our main focus will be on the research paper writing, because that is more important. Apart from that, I will be discussing, or I will be rather informing you about a few new techniques which can be used as innovative techniques while publication as well as research writing. Now to begin with, see, today we are living in an era where we all know that there are so many complex issues which are coming forward, and we need to deal with those issues in almost every case through the weapon of law. Now, this is something which we do not want, but see, without intervention of the law, these are the days where we are not acting in a way we are supposed to be. And therefore, there are so many issues which need to be dealt by the law. But the things are not so easy. The things are not so simple as we used to have earlier. There are so many complex issues which are arising into a society, and being a lawyer, being an academician, we need to give solutions to those problems. So, of course, if we want to give appropriate solution for a particular issue or a problem, then we need to indulge ourselves into a lot of research activity. So, see, not only in regard to like giving solutions, legal solutions to the issues which are arising into a society, but otherwise also, if we talk about our day-to-day affairs, then we feel that we need to train our mind in such a way that we need to investigate certain things so that we can come up with a workable solution for even our day-to-day affair. And therefore, I would like to start with the quote by Marcus Aurelius. I quote, "Nothing has such power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under thy observation in life." I unquote. Rather, this is one of the important point or important life skill which we must learn so that we can deal with many situations in life. Now, talking about the importance of research, I would like to quote another, a great author, Alfred Mandel, who says that, I quote, "Thinking is skilled work. It is not true that we are naturally endowed with the ability to think clearly and logically without learning how or without practicing." I unquote. Now, this is a very deliberate attempt on my part, dear scholars, so that I can start with the, very sensitive statements, or a rather sensible statements, so that you can understand that look how research is important in one's life. At the same time, we need to understand that this is something which we need to learn. Sometimes we say कि उसका रिसर्च बहुत अच्छा है, but what do we mean by उसका रिसर्च बहुत अच्छा है? He must have put lot of efforts to learn the skills to do or to conduct a good research. So it needs a lot of perseverance, it needs a lot of uh, you know we may say efforts. It involves a lot of thinking process. We need to develop writing skill. We need to develop research skill. Then only we will be in a position to do this in our career. Now, see, another important aspect which I would love to discuss with you, rather, this is known to everybody, but I would love to, pinpoint this aspect with a special intention that look what kind of research are we involved into. Now, see what is happening nowadays, that we are required to conduct research either for our caste purposes or for the degree, or sometime for we may say just make ourselves updated, or to give some input to the institution. Now, see, the purpose, if purposes are like this, then obviously the way we are going actually towards the research is something which is really frustrating. The research is being deteriorating day by day in India, because as I said earlier, that this is the demand either from the university for the your career enhancement scheme, or for your promotions, or for your entry into the legal profession or teaching profession. So see, there is increase in the number of research work, but unfortunately the output which we are expecting from this research work is not coming. That is not actually as per the expectations, and there we need to improve the quality. And therefore, before understanding the skills, I feel that we must understand the importance of research in one's life, so that we can understand that what exactly we are doing, and what is the purpose behind research, what outputs we will be giving, and how that those will be beneficial not only to the outsiders, but for my own personality as well. So as I said earlier, that for the academics as well as research career, we need to conduct research for PhD submission as well. This is nowadays mandatory according to February 2018 UGC rules. This is mandatory to publish few papers, to present few papers before in national and international journals. Then for direct recruitment, that is for the post of assistant professor or associate professor or professor, you need to have good articles. You need to have PhDs. Then for CAS purposes also, we need to have the research. Even as I said earlier, for institutions, it is required so that they can build their rapport in academic world. Even for the NAC purpose, because you must be aware about this as well, that NAC also gives due weightage to the research activities of the staff of the institution. So that is also very much required under the according to the new guidelines. Now, see, apart from this, what I personally feel and I personally wish to convey you, look, if you have chosen this profession by choice, then you must indulge yourself into a serious activity of research. This will not only build your career, but this will build your personality, this will build your confidence, and definitely you will look different amongst others. Now, therefore, we have planned this lecture in three parts, according to the title, according to the subject which has been allotted to me. So the first part, we will be focusing upon research paper writing. See, here we will be talking about basic principles to be followed in research writing. Then obviously we will be talking about publication, that what care we must take while publishing our research articles or even books. Then we will be talking about innovative methods which are available in the field of research. See, obviously there is an enormous growth into the technology, and we must adopt technology for good. So we will be talking about those important factors as well. But as I said earlier, the main focus of this, session will be on research paper writing. uh, so to begin with, the very first topic as we planned, that is research paper writing. See, this is something which everybody is aware of. While addressing, to the all the audience who is present through this virtual meeting, Bhagyashree Deshpande madam has stated, principals and academicians from different institutions like this. So it means there must be, some academicians present over here. So you must have gone through the, you know, research paper writing. You must have written many papers, and therefore this is a very basic things which I am talking about. But this is very, very essential to begin with so that we can build our lecture plan. So what is required for a research paper writing? We need to have a plan that what exactly we want to do, what kind of research. So before that, we need to have plan in our mind that we need to write, and we are ready to devote some time for this. Then time limit is very, very essential. You all will agree with me that many a time we
Your
start
PPT is
with
not
all
moving.
enthusiasm that we want to start writing, but then we left the work in between, छोड़ देते हैं, और फिर वो रह ही जाता है, आधा लिखा हुआ रहता है, या कभी कभी वो फिनिश ही नहीं कर पाते हैं हम लोग. So please don't do that. You need to set a time framework and give deadline to yourself, and then only, otherwise whatever you have done or whatever efforts you have taken till now, that will also go in vain. So therefore time framework is very important. Then important is topic. You need to decide the topic of your interest as well as which is having the contemporary relevance. Okay, that is very important. Then you try to analyze, identify the problems which are in existence, because see, without problem you cannot address a particular topic, especially in research, because research may, what we will be doing, we will be giving some solutions. So we need to identify the problem. So that is a very basic thing which we must first do, that is identifying the problem. Then you must go through the available literature. This is very, very important and very primary stage before conducting any research. See why this is important? Look, literature review will give you an idea that what research have done till now in the area where you are planning to conduct your research. This will tell us whether literature is available or not, what additions or what advancement you can advance, state you can suggest into the existing research on the area, that can be gauged, that can be understood only if you go through the literature review. And then of course, what research method you want to adopt. Now, see, you may feel that this is not a PhD work or a thesis. So why we need to, decide upon the research method? Believe me, this is very important even to decide research method while writing research paper. Otherwise, lot of confusion will arise later on. So you have to be very, very careful while choosing research method. Let me share one experience with you. Now, see, when one of my student came to me, rather this example will convey you the importance of, literature review as well as research method. When she came to me, she came with a topic of mob lynching. She stated that I want to study on the mob lynching. That time, matlab now because of new laws, at least it has been criminalized. But that time it was not criminalized. It was not mentioned in any of the statute book. So when she came to me, I stated to her that, look, we need to go through the available literature because yet it has not been statutorily made criminal act. So we have gone through the statute, then we have gone through the literature, available literature, and then we realized hardly any literature is available on that. Again, hardly there were few bills of few states which were also in a very, we may say, in an embryonic state. There were hardly any significant judgments. Rather, there was only one significant judgment on this particular point. But she was very determined, and through literature, we realize that this problem exists. This is something which need to be declared as a criminal act. So haphazardly, we cannot choose ki this shall be declared as a criminal act. So jurisprudentially, we wanted to build some arguments and give some rationale that why do we want to make this criminal. So this was a big challenge before us, and therefore then we have decided to adopt a very, very complex method, that is a case study method, to write down that article. Now look here. Case study, please don't get confused with the case study method as a case study which we conduct in, primary level of our study. That is just analysis of the judgment or critical analysis of the judgment. It's not about the judgment. Case study is a very complex research method where lot of methods are amalgamated. Lot of methods are, we are using together. Say for example, observation method, interview method. We may opt for, even doctrinal method, like we may rely upon certain rules, regulations, books, articles. Then we may have, go for interviews, prepare questionnaires. So different methods can be adopted and clubbed together, but there is a scientific way of adopting multi, methods into while applying this to the real problem or to a real issue. So we adopted this case study method. That was the only unique method which we felt appropriate, and believe me, we come up with the excellent result, though there hardly, as I said, there was anything available on the subject of mob lynching. Now see, this was possible only because we have adopted right method. So mixed method can be adopted, like doctrinal and empirical, and especially I will be talking about the publication. That time we will be talking about the plagiarism. So please keep this in mind that nowadays the UGC and the higher bodies are very, very particular about the content or about the plagiarism, and therefore empirical method is the best method to adopt. But see, you may not be in a position to complete your research only with the empirical study, so you need to adopt the mixed method, like doctrinal as well as empirical. So that is also called as mixed method. So you need to be very careful while adopting the methods, choosing the method. Then you need to write the first draft. Then you need to give a title. Yes, the question might be in your mind that why am I talking about title at the last? Look, this is the proper way to deal with the research. Why? Because only after adopting the method, understanding the problem, going through the literature available, and preparing first draft, you will be having an idea what exact you want. What do you expect from yourself? What are the probable results out of this research? See, sometimes it may happen that you may work on a particular presumption, and then while studying, while going through the literature, you may have to completely change your outlook. There may be a complete change in your perspective. So therefore, you may then have to change the title, we may say the study, because title represents your whole study, what your study is all about. That is being reflected. That should be actually reflected into your title. So that is the next thing which you must go do. That is then need to make a title. There are certain rules of making titles, and I know for sure you must have studied all these things separately, because these are the subject of detailed discussions, and you must have studied all those things in detail during your this certificate course. So we will be I will be telling you the steps, not we will not be going into detail, but please keep in mind that your title should not be too long or too short. Like the people tend to write down, like say for example, legal and social issues under surrogacy, a critical study. So okay, fine, but try to make it more unique, so that it should be unique enough to catch the eyes of the reader. Definitely it need not to be very fanciful, but try to understand the context in which we are using, why, what kind of study we are doing, and accordingly frame your topic. Then keywords planning, this is very important. You need to have keywords. Like I have deliberately brought this for you. So keywords are supposed to be written like this: sentence, young offender, abduction, rape, murder, Scotland. So this is very essential to understand this particular study. Now see why I am actually talking about this. Can you see the slideshow? Is it running?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Oh, is it not running? Mm. I hope now you can see. I hope now you can see.
No, ma'am. Just first page.
No, ma'am.
PPT is not moving.
Not moving.
Just a minute. Give me a second. I think now my camera is also on, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Now is it moving? I will just leave from the other meeting. Now is it moving?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, great, great. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Now coming back to our discussion, as we were talking about the research, sorry, we were talking about the steps to be followed while planning our research. Now see, we were on a keyword planning, right? So I was showing this slide to you. Please have a quick look over the slide. This will give you an idea that what kind of words you should use. This should be rightly take to the reader, to your title or the content of your research. So if I want to search an article which talks about the young offender, so they can guide me. These keywords helps us to take to a proper content, and therefore these are very essential. So you need to properly plan keywords, and it should not be more than 5. Actually, there is no hard rule for that, but usually this should not be more than 4 to 5. Then abstract writing is very essential. Again, I am going actually back. In generally what we do first abstract, because that is need to be submitted to the publisher or to the organizers. But believe me, we need to write that abstract at the last. Okay, because it should be an overview of your whole research, and that idea you can have only if you know what exactly you are planning to research and what are even probable results of your research. And therefore abstract writing should be at the last, and even later on after finalizing everything you need to write down the introduction. So you need to go backward, in the sense you need to write down introduction at the last so that you can give the exact idea of your whole research, what your whole research is about. So these are the steps which you must follow while doing research. Again, see, while telling you the importance of research method, I talked to you about, the importance of research method by citing one of the example. Let me also take you through the recent judgment delivered by the Honorable Supreme Court just few months back. Now, what happened into that judgment? A case was filed. It was regarding the prevention of sexual harassment against men, okay, and third gender. And they wanted that we should have a proper law and we should form a national commission for men. Unfortunately, that was rejected. Rather, that PIL was end up with a cost, literally the Supreme Court levied a cost of rupees 2 lakhs for this PIL. Now we all know, we all are students of law, and we are very well aware about the fact that this problem exists today. Now then we need to analyze, we need to ask this question to ourselves, that why this case failed. Now if you look at the evidences which has been shown or which has been produced before the honorable court by the concerned lawyer, was only quantitative evidences. So while doing survey, while doing conducting the research, what he did, he only relied upon the quantitative method. So he gave that what are the numbers, how many how many men suffered, and how many these male or third gender person suffered through a sexual harassment. Now see, there are so many cases which we are aware about. Especially you must be aware about case of a Nayar's case from Mumbai. Now he also suffered from the sexual harassment, and there are many such cases which are actually coming forward, but most of the cases are not been reported, or they are not coming forward because of XYZ reasons which are known to everyone. Now see, traditionally what is been into our mind, that this kind of violence, that is domestic violence or abuse in intimate relationships, like amongst the homosexuals or third gender partners, these kind of abuse or violence is happening only to a particular section of the society, that is either female, mostly female, and all other they are not going through that. So this is a mindset with which we are actually working on a research. Now we need to go ahead of this mindset. We need to understand, we need to find out the reality into the society, that, and if you go through the study material, you will definitely realize that even men are suffering, third gender is suffering, homosexual couples are suffering, and therefore we need to have some law, we need to have some protection for them as well. But this case failed because we could not adopt a proper research method which would have otherwise brought a good result. Okay, so let's look at this. That is why I said how important it is to follow a proper research method. So see, this particular case was rejected only on the ground that there are lesser number of victims, they are negligible in nature, so we cannot go for a, we cannot we need not to have a law for that. So we need to provide some data which is authentic, real, which will bring to the notice of the court, which will bring to the notice of the readers that look, this problem exists in reality and there is a urgent need to address this problem, but this can be done only if we give substantial evidences, substantial proofs, and that can be adopted, that can be recovered, that can be retrieved only if we adopt proper research method. So that is why I am giving special emphasis to the research method which we adopt during our research. Then we must talk about result, that is probable results. We need to then work on suggestions and conclusions. Then we must give acknowledgement. This is a very required practice, because this will give authenticity. This will actually be showing your respect towards the persons who have helped you throughout your research, and this will look more generous. So obviously you need to give this. Then you need to revise the whole document. Then formatting, yes, generally what we do, लिख दिया, अब दे दिया, submit कर दिया. Please don't do that. Formatting is very essential. If you do not do proper formatting, that look really bad, that gives a bad impression. So there might be some grammatical mistakes, there might be some typo mistakes, there might be some other mistakes, you may not have properly constructed, or you may not have properly done formatting. So please do that. Give due care while formatting your document. Then final check karo fir se. You just go through a manuscript and do a final check. And look, this is very important. This has not been written anywhere. I have not taken this from the books. This is through my own experience of 20 years. I'm telling you that, see, consultation with your guide or teacher is very essential. It's not only that they are more knowledgeful than you. It's not because of that. You might be more knowledgeful, you might be more resourceful even than a guide and teacher. That is really a proud moment for us. So we are not doubting that. The only thing is, now your manuscript, your research will be looked from the other perspective, because he may have a different, and definitely everybody has different perspective. So you never know what kind of suggestion will come from the guide or the teacher, or maybe your colleague or your friend. So this is, I feel, very essential, which we generally skip. Then we need to incorporate necessary changes which has been given to us by any mentor, and then you need to talk about final check. Now see, these are the steps which I talked about, but see, special emphasis I want to give upon certain steps which I feel we must discuss, and this kind of discussion will definitely reveal something to even a student. मतलब we can realize कि yes, ये मेरे साथ हुआ था, and we can relate that to ourselves. So look, when we talk about topic, again, you must have studied on this in a separate session. You must have talked, some resource person must have talked about it. But see, while talking about a topic as one of the state, or while selecting a topic, you need to be very careful that this is required for the good of the society. Okay, that subject need to contribute something in the interest of society at large. Not necessarily that it need to be very unique. Generally बोला जाता है unique होना चाहिए, but I will say no, it need not to be very unique, but it need to be such that your contribution will matter. Not necessarily again that it need to be of a general interest. Like you may talk about a particular topic, say for example, copyright issues in music industry. Now this is a topic on which one of my student is doing her research. Now see, here one may felt that there are so many, real issues like poverty, untouchability still persist, the unemployment. So there are so many real issues into the society. And why do you want to talk about the, copyright issues in a music industry? Hardly that will cause any loss. But look here, I would suggest you that you must think about your interest as well. And if your interest is into a patent, copyright, or say, for example, nuclear energy or bioterrorism, nothing wrong. You can talk about this. You just give your contribution. You never know how that will change the whole economy of the country. So that is also a huge contribution from your side. So need not to be a real life issues like what we generally think about. Generally यही topics हमारे mind में आते हैं. But you can think about, like, one of my student is working on liability for nuclear energy, and we were criticized even by the other scholars that why do you want to talk about nuclear energy? But you need to understand that this is the future, and you need to be prepared. You need to have some research. There is hardly any research on this. Again, we do not found any literature on this, but still we realize that this is the real issue and we need to work on this. And therefore we decided to go ahead with the liability for nuclear energy, because this is the future. You may have to rely on nuclear energy. There is no alternative option. Then you need to be ready for that. You need to have some solutions which will be definitely given by the researcher only. Like, if the problem comes tomorrow and you do not have a solution, is this ideal situation? Rather, the ideal situation for any lawyer, researcher, academician is you need to be ahead of time. Okay, and therefore you can talk about these kind of topics, but it need not to be very fanciful, to be very honest. Okay, but yes, it need to be real, it need to be actual, and there must be a scope of for studying that particular topic. So if we decide to do something in the topics which I referred right now, then you need to adopt multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary approach. Now here, please see, I'm giving special emphasis that you must adopt multidisciplinary approach, but I'm not saying this is the requirement. Pre-requirement nahi hai. But what I'm advocating to you that you must opt for interdisciplinary approach. This is the requirement of today's world. See, the days have gone where we used to rely on the judgment का analysis कर लिया, कुछ तो भी ये इसका अभी ये solution है, मतलब ये conclusion है, ये inference है करके research submit कर दिया. Please don't do that. सिर्फ historical, ये historical है, ऐसा ऐसा development हो गया, अभी ये development stage पे है, and this is a research. Please don't go for that. Okay, you need to have some problem and you need to give some solution, and that too by adopting interdisciplinary approach. This will help you to give proper evidences, and then your case will not fail. Your research may be approved, your research may be borrowed, your research may be accepted by the judiciary, by even while giving the decisions. So therefore this is very, very essential. Now see, interdisciplinary, when we talk about interdisciplinary studies, as you all know, this is a combination of two or more academic disciplines. So you may take the help of, like, you may combine your topic, legal topic, with sociology, anthropology, psychology, economics, science, etc. So you must talk about the statistical data, even deciding the criminal law policy. So economics will be important for you. We never thinks about criminal combination of criminal law and economics, but that is very, very essential. When we talk about psychology, there are so many issues which cannot directly be dealt by the law. Matlab, of course, law is one of the best instrument to bring social change into the society, but this is not the only solution. So there are many issues which need to be dealt with the policies by incorporating the policies which are available in different disciplines, like maybe anthropology or psychology. So say for example, you talk about anti-ragging, you talk about sexual harassment, you talk about domestic abuse, you talk about surrogacy, you talk about the cyberspace, you talk about the artificial womb. You can take many examples where you will need interdisciplinary approach, otherwise you won't be in a position to do justice. So if you want a novel research, then you must indulge yourself into a interdisciplinary research. Now look, this is the article which talks about who owns the data generated by your smart car. A normal person may say, there are so many real issues, why are you talking about smart car? But the technology is coming at such an extraordinary speed that we have to equip ourselves to deal with the technological issues. We should come up with the some solution, jurisprudential solutions, and that can be done only by researcher. Who else can do than the researcher? So you have to come up with these kind of issues. Now, as I said, I will be pointing out few important steps. So I talked much about the literature review. So please just keep in mind that this is the foundation for any sound and successful research, and therefore you must go through the literature review. There are different literatures available, so you may go through the different literature available through different database, through different doctrinal research. At the same time, you should adopt certain technological softwares or methods which will help you in literature review, which we will be talking about at appropriate time when we will be talking about the innovative ways. But this is very, very important, because this will only give you a clear-cut idea in regard to your research problem. This will help you to decide your rationale. This will help you to decide or to have a coherence in your writing. So that is why literature review is very, very important. Talking about the results, as I said, see, while writing a paper, you may have something in anticipation. Okay, this would be the probable result of my study. But after studying, after doing research, totally different outcome may come. So please believe in yourself, believe in your research, and be professional. Your presentation, your writing should represent what exact your result is. So state the result without any bias. Do not exaggerate the result because it has not come. So I was actually thinking, so let me write down the result of my own, according to my thinking. आपका रिजल्ट आपका पूरा रिसर्च, आपकी पूरी मेहनत वेस्ट चली जाएगी. सो डू नॉट एग्जैगरेट द रिजल्ट. डू नॉट बी अफ्रेड ऑफ रिपोर्टिंग इवन नेगेटिव रिजल्ट्स. And so even if some paradox is there, even if some contradictory results are there, please report them as it is. Okay, so this is very important, which I wanted to point out to you. Then the use of references. Yes, while writing newspaper, special care must be taken while giving references. Even in PPT, I am sharing the PPT. So you must be observing that I have written the sources if I have taken some information from some source. So I am actually reporting that. I am writing that into the PPT as well. Okay, now see, this is the right practice, and you should give due acknowledgement to the references from where you are giving or citing certain things. So citations are very, very important in any article. Don't overlook this aspect. Now see, while writing any paper or thesis, give citations immediately. मैं बाद में ये citation लिख दूंगा, अभी मेरा link टूट जाएगा, so I will not. ओके, डू वन थिंग, छोटा सा इसमें लिख दो ऑथर का नेम और कौन से पेज से लिया. फिर डिटेल जो साइटेशन है, then you may write down later on, but immediately write down from which source you have actually taken this para. Otherwise, this definitely will be very hectic for you. Because look, while writing, I understand there is a link and you don't want to break that link. So in continuation, if you just think about the writing of citation or immediately, then you may break that link. So we don't want that. I understand that. But at least in brief, you just write down immediately and then you can feel, while editing or revisiting. But citations are very, very important. Again, you must have had a lecture on citation. There are different citations. You may go through quickly. You may just have your attention to the slides. These are the certain citations, which methods which we adopt. Generally, we adopt, this Blue Book citation because it has been adopted through years together. That could be the reason that, as this is the most widely used style in Indian journals, we are following those. But ऐसा नहीं है कि यही authentic है. You can go through the different citations. These are the certain links. I will be sharing my PPT with the organizer. You can go through different links. These are the links where you will get the rules, citation rules. like ब्लू बुक का हार्वर्ड के यूनिवर्सिटी में इन्वेंट हुआ है, तो देयर यू कैन गेट दैट. Then Indian Law Institute follow their own styling. Then we have like criminology के कुछ books, they follow their own, SCC follow their own. So accordingly, whenever you will be choosing where am I supposed to upload, where am I supposed to submit my research, accordingly you need to follow the citation style. Now, we have actually a commonly adopted Indian legal citation style, that is standard Indian legal citation. This is our India's own citation system. I generally request my students to follow this, as this is of a Indian origin, and therefore, while citing the Indian articles and authors, we feel it's quite easy. This is the website through which you need to go. You need to register yourself, and then they will be sending you the email regarding the style, matlab what kind of style, what method you need to adopt while citing the papers. As I said earlier, there are few journals which actually adopt their own rules, regulations for citation. You need to first see, and accordingly you need to prepare your draft. Apart from that, I would just like to quickly go through the basic traits of writing paper. See, there must be a clarity, there must be a completeness. What happens many a time when I check the research papers of the students, कुछ तो भी haphazardly एकदम यहाँ पे और कुछ तो भी point आया next उसके तुरंत वो वाला point. I do understand these are very important points which we need to incorporate into the paper, but you have to be careful that there should be a clear-cut flow into the paper, so that should come in a story form to me. And therefore coherence is very, very important. So you need to first complete the first point and then only you shift to the other point. So that is very important. As I even earlier pointed out, critical thinking is very, very important. Here I would like to quote B. Whatliff, who stated, I quote, "If scholars cannot be bold and critical, who can?" I unquote. So obviously we need to be bold and critical. Like I remember in one of my paper, when actually I was too young, but when I presented that paper in one of the international conference, I stated, I talked about I gave certain arguments, and on which one of the chairperson stated to me, these are too bold arguments to be accepted. But believe me, after 10 years, those were accepted by the judiciary in one of the judgment. So like you may say simply, I actually stated into that article that, look, I want to protect my reproductive autonomy. So I need to have complete autonomy over my reproductive rights. But this does not mean that I am not entitled to be a mother if I don't want to be a wife of someone. So I may like to be a wife, I may like to be a mother, but I may not like to be a wife of someone. I may like to have a child, but I may not want to indulge into a heterogeneous sexual conduct. So see, these are the arguments which we must forward. We must be bold enough. We should not be, a spectacle ki kaun kya bolega, kaun kya kahega. So even today, if we look at the law which do not incorporate this argument of mine, because single women are still not included within the purview of surrogacy act. They are not entitled to avail the services of surrogacy, but still I am actually firm on my argument that because jurisprudentially I can substantiate my argument ki how this is otherwise discriminatory on the basis of constitutional course, constitutional morality. So that you must be in a position to prove, but you need to be critical, you need to be bold enough, you need to be critical enough. Like, you may just criticize the judgment delivered by the judiciary, you can, but yes, of course, please keep in mind that you need to substantiate the reasoning with the jurisprudential, rational and reasoning. So that you must be aware of. Then technicality, yes, this looks good if you follow certain technical words into your writing. Then properly you need to give a sequencing so that there shall be a smooth transition. I feel smooth, just it should go like a storytelling. There must not be any ambiguity, and the reader friendliness is the key point. You should not use the bombarding words, very flowery language. You should use good language. You may use appropriate, even good words, but that should not be full of those words or reader should struggle with understanding what you are writing. So that you need to keep in mind. Then another important aspect is regarding post submission. See, this is my observation during my supervisorship, that many publishers nowadays, good publishers I'm talking about, if you submit that on paid journals, for paid journals, तो वो तो as it is approve करके आपको दे देते हैं, पैसे भरो और कर लो. But if you are really targeting good publishers, then they will suggest you. Definitely they will, because no one is perfect. Even if I write today, I also gets some suggestions from the publisher. So they will give you certain suggestions, proper suggestions देते हैं, proper mail आ जाता है. Please try to incorporate those. छोड़ नहीं देना. Properly you can learn lot many things, because कितना भी मैं आपको लेक्चर दे दूं और कोई लोग लेक्चर दे दे, वो इतना माइंड में नहीं जाएगा जितना आपको ये आप करेक्शंस जब करेंगे तब आपको समझ में आएगा. बिकॉज यू हैव रिटन दैट आर्टिकल, there are certain errors, mistakes, now you are improvising on that. That is the real learning for any research writing. So please do indulge yourself into that. Coming to the next point, may I ask the Deshpande madam, can I actually continue, matlab, may I have at least 10 minutes?
Yes,
Anyone?
madam. Sure, madam. Sure,
Okay.
madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I will just brush it up because these are very self-explanatory slides. And as I said, I will be sharing this with Deshpande madam, so you can have access to these slides. But briefly, quickly, we will go through these important and especially, this is something which you should be aware of. At least you should, if you are listening to me and these words are coming to you, obviously you will try to understand and get more clarity on these words later on. So that is more important. So we will quickly go through the second part of our session, that is publication. Now see, plagiarism, everybody is aware about this. Now there are good detection tools. This is actually one of my article where I have gone through the plagiarism report. So you need to check that plagiarism report, and this is very, very important and good practice. You must imbibe that into yourself. Okay. while giving after writing the paper, now you have written the article as instructed to you and up to your satisfaction. Now the next task will be for publication. So you need to look in for the good publisher. So while publishing a paper, please keep this three factors in your mind, that is impact factor, speed factor and reach factor. बिकॉज दो दो साल लग गए, तीन तीन साल, दैट विल बी रिडंडेंट, है ना, कोई यूज का ही नहीं रहेगा वो. सो ऑब्वियसली टाइम मैटर्स, that should be reachable, and impact factor, obviously this is very very important. You all must be aware about the impact factor. So impact can be spread over only through the journals. So we need to look into the journals impact factor, that what kind of, that will indicate to us that what kind of aura or prestige or impact a journal possesses. It will talk about the quality of that particular journal, and this will give a confidence into the author that I am actually giving my article in good hands. So therefore you need to check the impact factor. How this is calculated, everything is given here. Generally what they do कि लास्ट 2 years का उनका जितने आर्टिकल्स आए हैं और जितने साइटेशंस उनके बाकी लोगों ने साइट किए हैं, उनका वो मीन निकालते हैं, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली दे डिसाइड impact factor. I have given the formula here. You can go through this later on. So there are different indexing agencies. You just have a quick look over the slide. This talks about the different indexing agencies which give impact factor to the journals, and you need to see that you have actually published your article in good this kind of journals. So higher number of well-known indexing agencies by which the journal is indexed is more potential, and therefore you should target your manuscript to be sent to those publishers. Apart from that, this is a very very important piece of information which I want to pass on to your dear scholars, because not only to the scholars, in fact to the academicians as well, because look, this is very important. This is of a practical importance, that API, while your API, that is academic performance indicators, this is prescribed by the University Grants Commission, and this is according to the 2018 the latest scheme of February 2018. So it actually grants you certain marks according to the impact factor of the journal. So for any journal they may grant you 2 marks, 2 points. But if that is a refereed journal, then that points will be augmented. So the score for the paper in the journal is augmented on the basis of impact factor. So if it is a refereed journal, though you are entitled for 5 marks, but then if it is a refereed journal with impact factor, then that may be augmented by 5 marks. So you will be getting 10 points. Okay, so papers with impact factor between factor less than 1 point, you are entitled for 10 points. If that impact factor is between 1 and 2, you are entitled to get 15 points. So look how by 5 points your marks is getting augmented. So this is very important. You just have a look at this slide, and this will give you the real importance of giving your article to a good impact factor journal. Please go through the authentic site source. Use authentic source to know the journal impact factor. I would just like to share my personal experience with you. When I had been to one of the committee which is responsible for the promotion of one of the associate professor, she was due for the professor. Now, during this placement, obviously, she has shown us few articles, and we were very much, impressed with the thing that she had published her articles into approximately, I'm not recalling the number, but it's more than 5. And that too in a Scopus General. But we were wondering that how is it possible within 3 years, because we are writing, so we know how much time and how much pains and efforts it takes. So we were wondering, and therefore we were not doubting her, but we were wondering how it is possible. So that struck to our mind, and we opened the actual website. And then we were trying to find out by author's name in a search mechanism. By author's name, you can find out whether she has published and how many she has published. So with the title, they may reflect. So then we tried to find out her name. Not a single paper by her name in a Scopus paper. Now, what does it indicate? She was not fooling us. I'm not doubting her genuinity or integrity over here. Please try to understand. Look, sometime we may rely on the agent or the generally the screens or home pages shown on the website, their website matlab the website of the journals. एंड हमको वी बिलीव ऑन दोज वेबसाइट्स, और हम डाल देते हैं, उनको पैसे भी देते, 25,000 दे आर आस्किंग एंड वी आर पेइंग. बट एक्चुअली आर आर्टिकल मतलब वी आर टेकिंग ऑल पेन्स to write, we are intellectually stimulating us to write and taking pains to write. We are paying our hard-earned money and still our article is not on Scopus. Now this is really painful. So I'm not doubting her integrity, but this kind of mistakes may happen with anybody. So you need to check the genuinity, and therefore you need to go through the proper website. I'm again and again at the cost of repetition saying this, that please, try to go through the proper website. These are the proper websites. I have given, source over here. You need to go through this and accordingly check whether that particular journal is in the list of Scopus, or whether that is whether index factor is really present. You need to check that and then only submit your articles. Apart from that, apart from the impact factor of the journals, there is a provision of impact factor, giving impact factor to the author. This is this is called as author metrics. So there are certain databases like Scopus, Web of Sciences, and most commonly which is used is Google Scholar. So these are generally used. These are the three important sources of H index, and these are used for understanding or trying to understand that how productive the author is, how many person have cited his article. Even if you are a member of academia, then generally these kind of messages comes to me. Are you S Kalamdad? Have you written this article, because this has been cited by this person urgently. So you can also have track on how many people of yours are how many people are citing your article. So you can be you must take the help of technology to understand this. There are other metrics as well, but as I stated, Scopus, highly indexed art publications, there are very few authentic publishers for this, and therefore we may not get chance to publish our articles there. So we have come up with an idea. In India, we have UGC constituted a committee consortium for academic and research ethics, that is CARE, and now this CARE listed publishers are available. Those are mostly Indian publications where you can definitely publish your papers. But again, you need to go to the UGC website, authentic website, check the list. If they are enlisted, then only, and for which period they are enlisted, accordingly you decide whether to submit your article or not. The website look like this. You need to write down the subject, then law articles pure aa jayenge like this. What are the law journals which are UGC CARE listed, and for what period they are listed, everything will be given, and accordingly you should go ahead with your publication. The last point of our discussion today is innovative methods. Now I will not be going into detail, but I have found even I was not, let me be very honest with you, even I was not aware about few of the innovative technologies which we can use while doing our research. And for preparing your lecture, I found these are very useful technologies which quickly we will go through. See, you can use the technology for innovative, ways of doing research. This will definitely save your time, energy, and you may come up with a very innovative and novel ideas quickly because of use with the use of this technology. So library techniques in research you must be aware of. पहले क्या होता था, like when we have done our PhD, we used to literally visit all the libraries, physically need to look into the papers, books, etc. Now you have the search mechanism through a library research, where you can definitely immediately you may find out what exactly you want. So search engine will help you through a catalog, as well as there are many other databases through which you may go through the recent scholarly books and articles, and you can craft your research accordingly. So these are certain database software for the legal research. Okay, even I talked about, yes, I think I have skipped that slide, but there is one slide which talks about the other database or softwares which are helpful for legal research. So these are few more database. Then this is also a very interesting technology which has come up. This has come up for generally for business purposes, but even for law we can use this simulation software, which will help us in identifying uncertain conditions, because uncertain conditions might come in real life situations, and therefore to solving those real life situations, this is really a very valuable tool which will be helpful to us. So there is a good article which I found which talks about the use of this technology in legal education. You can go through this and you can upgrade yourself with the knowledge in regard to this practice. Then artificial intelligence, I need not to talk much about it, but we all know even citations can easily be written directly if you are giving a proper command. So there are certain artificial intelligence tools which are used for legal research by the lawyers, by the researcher, by the academicians. So I have identified few important tools which I have mentioned as indispensable AI tools for law. I want you should go through those tools and may use those tools in your legal research. Okay, these are few more tools which I have used. Then the important aspect to which I want to take your attention is a collaborative action. You must actually do it together. So here I have taken the quote of Johnson. I quote, "None of us is as smart as all of us." I unquote. Now you all will agree with Johnson and Johnson. We all know the importance of unity, or doing research in collaboration with lot many peoples. This is another innovative technique which we must adopt while doing research. Another technique is STEM learning. This is also a very unique technique which I found. Okay, I have given the references of this STEM learning. Actually, this STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So you must be wondering why I am actually telling this for the use of legal research. Believe me, though law is not included in this, there are some areas where you can utilize this STEM learning, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and whereby you can properly estimate, you may compute the compensation to be paid, or you may compute the actual injury sustained by an individual, or what must have happened, or what may have happened in the real crime scene. So you may actually you for all these things you may use this learning as well. This is known to everyone, that you must acquaint yourself with the techniques of how you may put all the tables and figures immediately into your research. then this is again a wonderful thing which I found during my research. This is really a very, very innovative and a unique idea whereby you can create a video and of an abstract. Obviously, video of the whole, article is not possible. But today we know we are living in the world where we need to publicize everything. So this is the very, very unique and we may say viable option to publicize your article. So you can make a small videos in regard to your article. For more information, you may go through this website which I have cited here. You That will help you that how you can create your videos regarding the research paper. So these are some of the ways. I hope this is helpful to you, but I would like to conclude with a note, or rather with a quote by the Aristotle. I quote, "Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere efforts, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, my dear. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny." I unquote. On this positive note, I just want to conclude with the saying that look, research is a huge activity. Please don't take it lightly. You have chosen this by choice, and therefore you have to put all your efforts with all sincerity and integrity while doing research. I hope to a certain extent this particular session will help you in understanding what precautions we must take and what technologies we can adopt while doing our research. On this, I stop. Thank you so much. If we have time, I can take questions as well. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you so much, madam, for your wonderful delivery of lecture. And now, with your kind permission, the session is open for interaction from the participants' side, and participants can ask their query or questions to Dr. Sandhya, madam, if any query or questions are there. Yes, from the side of participants.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to ask one query.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Ma'am, whether there is any difference between research paper and research article?
See, it depends again upon our perception. Look, in common parlance, we use the word research writing, academic writing, paper writing, that these are the common alternative words which we use. But if we really want to use the authentic and the legal word, that is research writing. Research writing. So it is a research paper. But according to the according to the sources, it may vary. If you are presenting your paper in an international conference, say for matter, then we generally say paper writing. Okay, and if you are publishing that as an article into a journal, then we call it research paper. I hope I have satisfied you, Dr.
Yes,
Saab.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other question? I think I am not visible at all, है ना? है ही नहीं actually video चालू. I guess some problem on my side.
Any more question from the side of participants? Madam, I think lecture was too exhaustive and comprehensive, which I think self-explanatory for the participants. So no further
Yes, and
question.
I think, ma'am, on the basis, because see, you can't deal with the research writing by, talking on this. You need to practically go through it,
Yeah.
and then only you will be in a position to learn. But these steps, I feel, definitely will help the students.
Definitely, ma'am. You have really covered in nice manner and easy to grasp for the participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
So
you.
I suppose, yes, I express my thanks from the bottom of my heart to you, Dr. Sandhya Kalamdhat, madam, and expect your cooperation in future with guarantee. And now there is a time to propose formal vote of thanks, and I would like to invite Advocate Vaibhav English sir to propose formal vote of thanks. Vaibhav
Thank you,
sir.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. As we conclude this enlightening session on research paper writing and publication, innovative techniques, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our today's resource person, Dr. Karamdhar ma'am. Ma'am, it was indeed an enriching and insightful experience for all of us. The insights which you have shared would certainly help us in research paper writing and publication. I wish also I would like to express my gratitude towards the principal and chairperson, Dr. Varsha Deshmukh ma'am, for her continued support and visionary leadership. Uh, I would also like to thank the convener of this certificate course, Dr. Bhagyashri Deshpande ma'am. It was her diligent efforts and meticulous planning which has made this certificate course a truly successful event. I would also like to express my gratitude towards the organizing committee of this certificate course. And lastly, but not the least, the participants who have made this certificate course a successful event. Their engagement has always been uh, a guiding experience for us, for the organizing committee. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Karinder, ma'am, once again. And with this, I would like to conclude this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So,
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, may I
Thank you,
leave?
madam.
yes,
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
thank you.
So, with your kind permission, I'm leaving, ma'am. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, madam. Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Now, participants are required to submit feedback form. I will share feedback link in chat box, and without making delay, we will proceed for the valedictory session.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
A warm welcome to Dr. Chaube, sir.
Very good morning, one and all.
Welcome, Dr. Shahista Inamdar, ma'am. Two of my most favorite personalities today interacting, both of them at Zoom meeting. Feeling very nice. So we would start with the valedictory function. A short glimpse about the certificate course. Today is the last day of the certificate course program. Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law had organized certificate course on research methodology. It was an interdisciplinary course at the national level. The course, it began on 28th of September and today is the last session, that is 27th of October. It was held on every Saturday and Sunday. About the patrons, patron-in-chief of the program was Honorable Shri Harshvardhan P. Deshmukh sir, who is president of Shri Shivaji Education Society. Along with him, patron Honorable Advocate J.V. Patil Pusdekar sir, who is the vice president of the society, and treasurer Honorable Shri Dilip Ingole sir, who was also the patron. About the organizing committee, the core committee consisted of chairperson Dr. Varsha Deshmukh ma'am, principal of Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law, convener Dr. Bhagyashri Deshpande ma'am, who chalked out the entire program and meticulously made it possible. Along with them is a team of 10 coordinators. I won't mention name of all of them, and our technical expert Praveen Misal sir. The course, it aimed to touch each and every aspect of the research, and there was 21 sub-themes and 21 eminent scholars were invited across the country to part their experience and knowledge about the and valuable guidance about the about the research methodology. The research methodology themes included introduction to research methodology, concept, innovative techniques, framing of hypothesis, use of library, use of innovative techniques, major steps in the research work, research design, and along with this, certain new topics like combining AI and human evaluation for reduction, along with this plagiarism testing, how to remove plagiarism, all this were also covered. In short, the entire program, it was designed in so perfectly that a person who would have a less research experience or who would be new in the field of research, he would get all the insights about the research. Along with this, the certificate course will provide the e-certificates to all the members, registered members. The quiz would be organized from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. and after that, the feedback form submission would be there and then certificates would be dispersed. This was all about the research methodology course which was organized by our college. For this course, today as chairperson, we are having Dr. Chaube sir. A very brief introduction about sir because he is such a personality in our legal fraternity who does not require any introduction. So Dr. Vijay Kumar Chaube sir, he is professor and head of department at post-graduation teaching department of law. Being sir student, I am always blessed to get guidance about the sir. And sir is very interested in imparting knowledge about research. And the Sant Gadge Baba Amravati University has also been granted the status of research center. So he is always behind that how a perfect research can be conducted. And his experience and knowledge has always helped us. I request Dr. Chaube sir for his speech.
Good morning, sir. You are a mentor of all of us in our university, all the colleges in our university.
Very
A
good
warm
morning.
welcome
And
to Dr. Varsha Deshmukh ma'am,
rather the
principal of Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law.
Rather the introduction like that, I was the student of this college. I have done my LLB from this.
You're proud alumni. You're proud alumni of institution.
And all organizer and most of the people are our alumni. That is again one good side.
Yes, yes.
Very good morning to all the researchers. the patron, Dr. Deshmukh, who is also the management counselor at Amravati University, the vice president Pustekarji, as well as Ingolaji and the principal of the college, as well as convener and other people who are helping for conducting this very good activity, rather, because that is the need of an hour. The Amravati University was formed in 1983, and since then it has taken a leap, and probably at most of the places the researcher nowadays are visible from this institution. You can see at National Law School and most of the places they are working. And this is rather I can say that the contribution of this university to the law fraternity. This particular activity that is going to help a lot of people and in turn to the law fraternity to grow up, because research is the things that really nothing but going to contribute in the form of research, and the research contribution is really help to grow any faculty, and the activities and all those research material and all those. Actually, this type of activities are really required, and I think that the P.D.C.L, Dr. Panjabrao College of Law, and their research center is doing very well in this regard. I can see the list is very good, that most of the people from across the nation has going to contribute in this activity, in this program, and lot of deliberation has been done about the research. I was also attended the last lecture in which the most of the material has been given by the Kalandhar madam, who is working at Dikshabhumi at Nagpur. And her contribution is really good. She has told that what new things we can just take into consideration while doing the research. So many things are now available. Once when we had did our research, we are only having the computers, or most of the time electronic typewriters were there. We did not have that much technique. The data was not available. Down on the line, we are having the Google Books, we are having the Grammarly check, we are having so many websites that can help us. Again, madam has told you how to change the citation methodology. You can just adopt the uniform citation methodology and all those things. That is very good things that in research we are doing. I do not want to repeat all those things, but I just wanted to discuss what insight I was having during my tenure as a Pro-Vice Chancellor at Amravati University. The Pro-Vice Chancellor in under Maharashtra Public University Act was nothing but the head of the research. And in that context, I have to approve the synopsis of all the 60 different branches in the university, including science, technology, drama, interdisciplinary research, humanities, commerce, management. Lot of subjects were there. And I was fortunate that around 1400 synopsis we heard to hear the defense by the research scholar. And during that period, around 1.5 months, continuously we are giving the time and listening to the researcher. I have understand that despite this, lot of literatures are there that we can just witness. Lot of things are there into the market. Books are there which tell you about how to draft a hypothesis, how to go for review of the literature, what is the format and all those things. We have also designed 18 points that what should be there in the synopsis. And we had also fortunate to design that what is the basic formation of research proposals along with the summary, abstract, and thesis should be how the foundation. So on the basis of that, I will just try to deliberate on this particular point, that what my experience was. Rather today, I will not tell that what I have read and what I can tell you. Rather, I will just share my experience that what is required from the researcher. Being a good researcher is the best quality that can be exhibited in his research. Actually, the researcher's personality we can just view through his writing. If he write a single sentence, we can know that how much depth the student may have, that researcher may have. Therefore, there are few tips I will just going to discuss with you, that which tell you and which give the impression on the reader who go across your material that you are developing as a research material. May it be an article, may it be a proposal, maybe a project, maybe a dissertation or thesis, abstract, summary, whatever it may be, you will develop. When you put that particular things before any audience, who is from your same branch or who is already having the knowledge about the law or the area in which you are exploring your material. By reading a single page, your personality can be just get shape into the mind of the researcher. Therefore, with all whatever has been taught to you in this type of lecture series, you must adopt those particular things, and while developing, you must have the uniformity throughout your research. That is the best things that you can do. uh, Uniformity by means that there must be correlation between the first letter of your research to the end letter. It must be appear that the same person is writing the same research outcome. Suppose, for example, if you are developing your hypothesis, you are developing your issues on the research, it must have the correlation with your entire outcome. Suppose, for example, you are developing any objective, it must have any correlation with your research finding and the recommendation that you are going to give. It must have relation with that particular thing. Your data must have the harmoniously put up, and everything is having a correlation throughout your research. If you are taking, just for example, if I borrow an ornament, it does not fit well to my body because the ornament has not been made according to my fitting and according to my shape. Such of the things are there with the references. If you are taking the references which is not in tone with what you are researching upon, and it cannot be get fit into where you wanted to analyze that particular part, it simply appeared to the reader that mismatch has been occurred, and the development of idea will not be very much good in that particular context. Therefore, the first advice that I will tender to all the researchers is that first focus upon that your entire research must reflect the growing and developing of an idea that you can do. First, you must sit down, just take your subject and develop by your own without resorting first to any material. Just like that, when you are constructing a house, you prepared the blueprint for your house. At that time, no material has been called upon. You just develop that what is your requirement, what is your capacity, what you are going to do, and in what way you wanted to build up your house. At this particular point, you are making entire plan on the paper. Similarly, the researcher must first do this particular activity, that he must develop the entire plan. Suppose, for example, he wanted to do the research on the federalism, or suppose, for example, classical federalism as appear into the America, and you wanted to compare it with the quasi-federal structure in India. If you are adopting comparative method, first do the work on paperwork, what you wanted to do, where you will go, what is the time limit you are having, what hypothesis you will develop. All these things must be first done on the paper. I have seen most of the students, since the topic has been given, they rush to the computer. They go for the search. They just go to the Google and find out the similar word and start downloading and restoring and storing the material that is appear on the web page. Most of the time, this web page may not be most of the time suitable to you because it may not have that much comparative approach of both the model. Most of the time, it may not even the on timeline, our federalist structure has definitely going to change gradually. Therefore, first you must clarify your idea, that what you wanted to do, what is your research area, what are your parameters, what are your dimensions, and in what way you wanted to do your research. What is the crux of your research and what is the main focus of your research. If you do not do, and if you do not have any clear idea, suppose for example, you wanted to go from Nagpur to Mumbai, you must be very clear that in which direction you must proceed with, which is the direction, in which direction the Bombay is. Therefore, you can adopt the proper direction. If that is not clear to you, without understanding the focal point of your research, without understanding the variables of your research, without understanding what object you have framed and what object you are going to frame, what outcome expected from you, if you rush to the collection of the data, definitely you will mislead and you will go into such direction where your plane cannot be landed at the proper place. The first thing I will just tell you from my experience, that most of the time, give the proper time give the rehearsal, give that particular time frame for you to understand your topic. Most of the time, once topic has been given, student rush to find out. But before understanding that what you wanted to find out, what is the basic area of research, generally the student take the very vast area, cyberspace, or suppose for example, clinical trial, for example, surrogacy. Most of the time, our research is very much limited with certain variables. For example, poverty and crime. What is the impact of poverty on the crime? Now, these are the two areas, and focal point is also very much limited, where how the crime is influenced by the poverty status of a person, whether his poverty influence the crime commission or not, or otherwise. So this particular dimension, this particular things, you must have very clear idea about this particular understanding. And if that is not there, you may mislead, and you may suppose, for example, I am going to collect the data for cybercrime in India. Therefore, first I must know that what are the cybercrime that has been defined under the IT Act. Earlier, hacking has been defined as a crime. After 2008, it has been removed. Now it has been under section 43 of the under the contravention. Therefore, this particular crime, the list of the crime under the cybercrime is something different. And therefore, most of the time, I must know that what are the cybercrime that has been defined under the act, and how I'm going to collect the data for particular things. If I start collecting the data from the net about the cybercrime, so many such type of crimes are there which has been defined under the different legal systems, and that may creep in, and you will just mug up to analyze those particular things which is nothing to do with, or that system is not clearly defined under the Indian legislation. My first request to all the researchers is that first you must give the time more, as much as time you can give for understanding your topic. This is the similar things that suppose, for example, you wanted to construct your house, you must know that how much built up area you are having, what are the things you required, what is the suitable material you need. Other than that, if you go into the market, you will see so many shops are there. They are full of with the so many decorative pieces that may not be very much useful for you, and you are starting collecting such type of things. If you do not understand that what particular things you required for construction of your house, and if you go for the purchasing, it is the similar thing that you may mislead in collecting the pieces which may not suitable for construction of your house, and there will be clear cut mismatch. Therefore, you must know that what are the dimension, what are the depth, what are the how many stories of building you want, how much bricks you require, how much cement bags you require. All these things must be done on the paper. Then only go for the purchasing the things. Similarly, when suppose we go for the shopping, we must know our requirement as well as our financial capacity. While going for the research, we must also know our capacity, that how much data we can handle. Collecting the data is not much more problematic in India today, because as earlier resource person has already clarified that there are so many texts nowadays. Nowadays, collecting the data, collecting the resources, availability of the researcher resources is very good so far as technology is concerned. But suitable literature, what you need and what will give your collection and whatever give your research an innovative one, a very novel one, so that nobody has done, that is required, that you must give time for yourself, that what you need to collect and whether that particular thing is suitable for your researcher or not. I will give an example. Now, sanction. This particular sanction is appear in our legal system at two different places in two different contexts. One context is that under earlier CRPC 197, where sanction is required to prosecute the civil servant or any employee, his boss must give the sanction for filing an FIR against that person, because that sanction has been given a provision under section 197. Another sanction is that is sanction against the state by the another state. For example, the US government has certain sanctions against the Iran government. These two sanctions are though similar in the spelling, but having the different context. But both are legally very important terminology. One is against the state, another is against the employee. So when you are going to such type of word, you must be very clear that your subject is speaking about which one. If it is speaking about the sanction must be given by the governor or any superior authority for prosecution of an employee, you must collect that much data. Most of the time we have seen in dissertation that students go for searching the similar word, and that similar word sometimes mislead. And when your data itself is a tainted one and not exactly what you wanted to research upon, then sometime, because most of the time whenever you collect the data from net or from any books, that data has been explored and developed from different angle. Most of the time, see, now suppose for example, now if you are going to do certain research about the digital record or electronic material, now under the new act, BSA act, this digital record and electronic record has been recognized. And if suppose for example you will see the literature available on the books and all those things, they speak that this type of things must be developed by the legal system and all those things. Now our legal system has already recognized the forensic data. They are pressing upon the forensic evidences during the crime and all those things. Therefore, the new act has taken care for that particular things. Earlier literature, which is available on net or on books and everything, that literature does not had aware about that this type of recognition would have been given into the new act. Therefore, that literature is speaking about the old position. Therefore, this type of things, most of the time, earlier research, if you will see the good research during 80s, particularly from, if you are fortunate to read the Edwin Sutherland's book, you will see that he has given the glossary of the term. This glossary of the terms at the beginning clarify most of the clarification about the word that what researcher wanted to do. If you go to the book of Dias in Jurisprudence, he clarified that the law, this word has been appear in 5 different meaning to the different researcher or legal luminaries from different branch of law. For example, the person who belong to the positive school of law is something different. For natural school of law is something different. This he has clarified, and he taken a position that I will just discuss the word law in my book from this context only, positive school of law, because Dias belong to that. Similarly, Edwin Sutherland has also clarified that the word crime or white collar crime has been considered from this particular context. According to him, law is committed by the high ranking individuals. Later on, this white collar crime definition has been modified so many times during this 60, 70 years. So therefore, my first advice to all the budding researcher is that first try to understand what exactly the word and research you are going to do. Give at least 1 to 3 months for researching around that particular things without going to collect the data, because unless you are very clear what data you require. Most of the time I will tell you, I have gone through the one of the thesis in which the human right, this particular aspect has been narrated. The main focus was on the human right. If you do not know the context of human right, most of the time the researcher may confuse with the fundamental right and human right as the same thing. But both are the 2 different things. Fundamental right has been explained or described under part 3 of the Constitution. Therefore, if 2 different words are there, even word rights, most of the time this right has been defined by different meanings. Several types of rights are there. Some are improper rights. Suppose, for example, the right that has been given under the part 4 of the Constitution, directive principle of state policy, they are called as an imperfect right because they are not justiciable. Though they have been given into the Constitution, you cannot approach to the court of law for execution of those rights. So if you are writing something, you must first try to understand that what exactly you wanted to search for and what is your area for research. In absence of this, most of the time, problem crept in and the researcher may mislead, because if you do not know yourself, how you can give the justice to the subject in which you are researching upon, then only you can just go for collecting the data, analyzing it, whether that data is suitable for you. Most of the time you have to understand these particular things. That is first advice. Second, I will again tell you, most of the time go for the ordinances that provide that what you need to do. In most of the ordinances given by the universities, For example, our university now, 1 of 2016 is an ordinance which prescribes that the researcher must focus upon the contemporary. Contemporary means that the knowledge is just like a river and there is a flow, and therefore what knowledge was available during last 10 years may not be suitable to the present period. What was the earlier? Suppose, for example, the emergency that was very relevant in 1975. PIL was very much relevant in 80s, 90s decade of last century. Therefore, that now we are having the problem with how to tackle with the over use of the PIL by the people and how we have to stop the misuse of the PIL. Therefore, every knowledge is having some sense at a given point of time. It is a relative concept, and therefore, whenever you are doing the research, you must adopt the contemporary approach and also have a visionary approach that in the near coming future, what should be the problem? What should be, suppose, for example, now we can just take the political scenario in India. You can just see that what exactly problem today India is facing. Then you have to adopt this contemporary approach, that what is the new topic that we can have. Interdisciplinary research is now very much important in nowadays. If you work upon the clinical trial after pandemic, suppose, for example, you are talking about the surrogacy, if you are working on such concept which are very new, and suppose, for example, secularism, because after 2014, people blame that India is now moving towards the saffronization, such type of things, uniform civil code, which is now very much in the demand. Such type of contemporary issue must be taken because it gives very much weightage to your understanding about the current position of law. Whatever the position earlier, after 20 back, 20 year back, 30 year back, may not be very much relevant because that much issue when it was in debate may not be very relevant nowadays, and now the time has been passes. You have to give weightage to such type of topic which is very relevant, and for that you can just go to the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha website where the question has been asked by the members or any ministry that is coming, bringing new legislation. They are talking about this particular things. They are discussing about this particular approach. All these things, if forthcoming law is there, now government has called upon the opinion about the work board. Now, what exactly the problem? Why government is asking for the work board and all those, your opinion about all those things, such type of relevant topic. And you can also go on the website of the Law Commission report, because Law Commission is also speaking so many things about the new topic. You can just see they are talking about the cost to be imposed upon. They are talking about what new subjects. You can just find it out at so many places. These are the places where government is bringing new legislation. There are the movement of the people where they are asking for the legislation. They are moving for this women's right, this, that, reservation, all those things which are on the floor of the government. Your research may help to the government to regulate or to get an input for this particular things. If you see, one of our professor has given very good input to the consumer ministry, to the consumer, in which his inputs was very much useful for this drafting the new consumer amendment in 2019. So you can just go and find out that what exactly the new problem. Now GST, this GST is also facing a lot of problem, and though that has been brought into the existence from 2017, it is continuously under so many problems for the people, so many problem to the, we can say that this proprietor and these people who are filing any GST. You can just find it out, taxation policy, our policy, NRC, new demand for NRC, new demand. These things you can just pick up the contemporary issue and research it upon, because if you research upon the old things, by the time when you complete your research after 3 to 4 years, your research may not be that much relevant at that time, because this topic was already been over and people are now they wanted that what new topics are there where they are facing the problem. Therefore, your research must be problem to the solution to the problem. Therefore, speaking about what already been done is not very much. So first, my advice was that you must give the time for all the things to be get understood by you, what you wanted to do. Second is that your research must be a contemporary on the contemporary topic, because most of the problem is that maximum research, if you go on the Shodh Ganga, you can still see that the people are researching upon the emergency. Now, lot of balance has been done after the emergency has been imposed in 1975. Now, lot of check and balances has been done with regard to that particular things. So, if you are taking right up an accuse, definitely you take that particular things. But now bail is very relevant phenomena where chief justice are telling all those things. You must pick up the topic from the very contemporary issue which is in market and which will definitely require the research from the good researcher, and then only your topic will be relevant as well as your research, and you also will be remain very relevant. Definitely I know that every topic is having revival of its own, but if you take the relevant topic, what is into the question and what people are facing the problem, what government is facing a problem. Now we have given the topic about the Ladli Bahan Yojana, is this government welfareism, this particular policy, we have given the topic to the student. This particular welfareism, and there is a lot of criticism to it also. Therefore, he can find it out that what exactly the welfareism policy is there, how it is reflecting to whether this is good or bad. Now, Supreme Court has done that this is nothing but the one kind of a bribing election. So now two views we are having, and the researcher is definitely having an opportunity to research upon these two different competing views of two different institutions. One from the government to launch such welfare policy, another from the Supreme Court who has criticized such type of policies. Therefore, you can just research upon in the light of the data you can collect on this. So, second things that make your research more relevant and more useful is that contemporary nature of research. And I have told you, so many things are places where government, you can just visit the sites of the government where new things are there, and they put a lot of things about what problems they are facing. You can just find it out. Particularly, basically, every state government, they are bringing their GR. You can just see that whether that GR is good or bad. The government is bringing certain circulars. Then they are bringing some subjects, even the case laws, recent case laws in which government has raised this particular issue. Most of the time, most of the judgment does not take into account the all issue. They just decide one particular issue and they do not give the comprehensive approach of any particular problem. Therefore, you can just take that particular also. Again, nowadays, people are also very much fascinated to research upon the minority judgment. Once when ADM Jabalpur case, the Justice H.R. Khanna has given the minority judgment that was afterward proved to be very much innovative one. And afterwards, Supreme Court says that whatever the Justice H.R. Khanna has taken the view is now was well standing Puttu Swami case. You can just research upon the minority judgments also. What is the minority judgment, what he wanted to tell, and what is the good and what is the bad between minority and majority judgment. So you can find out such type of good and innovative topic which is there. And then first, if you are complete with your topic, first research what exactly you wanted to do, what are the issue that is there, then only go for the data collection. Do not go first for the data collection and try to find out the issue from that. First, develop your own issue, raise your own question, and then only go to find out the material on the basis of those issues, which material will able to solve your issue. If you do in the reverse way, you may be misleading your research, and most of the time the material that has been developed from different angle may mislead you most of the time. Again, I will tell you, while collecting the data, as the earlier previous researchers has already clarified the things, that the material that you are collecting must be collected from very good source. If you are going, particularly most of the time, you may go for the already show the Ganga on which the similar topic has been researched upon. That will be the very beneficial place, because you may know that how much research has been done, because that is definitely the PhD material. and that is really very beneficial for you. Most of the time, whatever has been recommended by the earlier researcher may be very useful for you to know that what has been researched upon, rather than going for the web pages, blog, and all those things. Nowadays, the electronic material, particularly digital material, may most of the time mislead you because they does not have an authentic view. Most of the time, I have already seen that the earlier researcher has tell about the chat GPT. Chat GPT is very good one. I do recognize that chat GPT is good. It construction of sentence is very good. But at the same time, it is having the problem that it do not give the authentic data. If you find out any good case laws from chat GPT, always try to check it from the actual material on the website from the Supreme Court or from the Indian Qanun or any other reliable sources, whether the proper source has been cited. So chat GPT most of the time is not very much good with regard to the material and references it give. Most of the time is mislead, and the case laws, particularly it quote, may not be very much good and may not be very much authentic. Second problem is that if you are taking something from the chat GPT, now the most of the plagiarism checker, for example, Ternity, it also provide that what AI generated material you have taken, and it quote that suppose for example 62% AI material has been found. So whatever AI generated material is there, most of the time the plagiarism detection software also detect that what AI material you have taken, and that is also not much very much appreciable, and that is also one kind that it has been sent back to you for revision. So not only the plagiarism, that similarity check, but also the AI generated material is also, you can take help because most of the time the language and the presentation is very good from chat GPT, but AI generated software has been very easily detected for that, and there must be the human generated material that has been get detected by the software. So while doing all these things, you must be very careful for doing your research. Again, last I will tell, because this is a valedictory function, and I know that already the vacation has been commenced in every university, including our university. Now this is the last day, and you have already been bombarded with so many things. Now it is the time that you must digest whatever already we given the input to you. Last thing I will just tell you, before submission, you must read the entire things and try to correlate whether your entire material is having any harmonious, and we can say that key in one tone you can read, and is there any contradiction or not. Because material, I have already told you and you have already been taught that you can take from so many sources, but harmonious development of idea having relation with whatever issue you have developed, whatever research gap you have identified, whatever research question you have developed, on the basis of which whatever objective you have framed, on the basis of which what hypothesis you have developed, what data you have collected, what inferences you have drawn, and what recommendation you will take. All these 8 to 9 points must be garlanded in one thread. If your recommendation does not match with the conclusion you have drawn, or your conclusion does not have any correlation with the data that you have interpreted or presented, and suppose for example your data whatever you have collected and interpreted does not have any relation with the hypothesis you wanted to test, if there is a mismatch, your entire material will be just like that. It does not fit into one particular book, and it became your entire research work maybe appear to be just like a dustbin, where the whatever pages we put into the dustbin does not have any correlation with each other. Our thesis must be appear to the thesis developed by one person, by one researcher, having collected all those things. Therefore, it appears at most of the time. Even simply we can find it out that in different section of our PhD, if the flow of the language is not appear to be taken by one person, easily we can conclude that this has been taken from some sources where the language is very tough. On the other hand, the language at one places is very simple. This language definitely belongs to the researcher, in his own word, he has to develop his material, except where the indentation has been given and sources of material has been taken from other source. So entire language, whatever the researcher's language is there, it must be appear to be a similar way of development of idea, clothing the word, clothing the sentence with the word, and development of your all ideas, sentences, paragraph, and all those things. So these are the time where we can just find it out. In most of the other branches also, there are so many things I will tell you. Some branches are really totally different one, where you can say that our research methodology and research methodology applicable to that particular branches is totally different one. For example, music, they are having their own way to research upon. For example, literature, now you are researching upon the Shakespeare or T.S. Eliot or John Donne. These are the people who have written their literature well back in 1932 or suppose 1600 century and all those things. Their characterization was totally different. Their way of research is totally different. The similar thing is that with regard to the law, that you must know that our research is also having some different parameters, different dynamics, and most important thing is that in research is that we have to have our correlation with the case laws, which we feel that it is the application of fact and law together into the case, and the opinion from the court that what they feel that whether this law is proper or fact is properly been appreciated and all those things. So these are the three things I will just tell, because this is a valedictory section. I cannot tell you much more things, but from experience, I will tell you. I will not tell you that how you should develop your research. But ultimately, when you develop your research, you must give a look that whether this research is a readable one. And at the first sight, as we say at a prima facie, this is appear to be the research by a researcher, and whether there is a development of idea is there is a proper correlation between all the sections. Because in writing an article of 10, 20, 25 pages is very good one, where we can just maintain this particular things. But maintaining the harmonious development into the research is very different things. Because most of the time when as an external we open the thesis, we just go find it out that what he has suggested, and if whatever has been suggested, we find something correlation with whatever he has interpreted or analyzed, graphically represented, statistically he has developed, then we find that yes, whatever he has researched, the outcome of the in the form of conclusion and suggestion is really proper. If not, we can easily get and guess that what is the problem with that research. I will not tell much more, because I think that at this valedictory section, teaching to the student is not very appreciable. Rather, this is a place where we should appreciate the organizer for their effort, because here we can just go for assessing and appreciating and appraising the whatever they have done. Therefore, I will feel that from bottom of my heart, such type of activity conducted by P.D.C.L, their principal, convener, and all other people, really in long way to go to help our law fraternity and definitely give the good researcher. We are really fortunate that this time we can see that a lot of effort has been done. I know that our classmate, even principal madam, at our time, we need to rely upon very few people, because very few people are able to know what research is there, what topic was there. We have to move here and there for want of material, for want of book, for want of guidance and all those things. But now it is at your doorstep, at your fingertip. You can just click the link and join this type of course, and definitely you can get the good input on this particular things. Definitely, ultimately, it is the success of such kind of activities will be definitely lies how much really you grasp and how much it reflected in the form of your good research. I'm really thankful for the college, organizer, even institutions who have given such a room for the colleges to conduct such type of things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
I think that I have not exceeded the time, no? 12:30. 12:30.
Not at all, sir. Hearing from you is very nostalgic. And whenever we get opportunity to hear from you, we don't want to miss it. We feel that the lecture should go on and on. And always, like, one thing I have learned from you is the presentation of the ideas. Even if we want to criticize anything, then first we should start with the appreciating the thing like chat GPT, and then slowly pointing out that what we should not do or what should not be followed. So this is main thing I always learned from you during my research. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your insightful knowledge about the research. And I'm sure that if you can carry on the entire coursework, means entire certificate course can be carried out by you. You have knowledge about each and every aspect of the research, not only research, but each and every field of law. Thank you so much, sir.
Listening, Dr. Chaube is like an academic feast.
Yes, sir.
Please,
Yes, ma'am.
please, madam. आपका अच्छा presentation हमसे. P.D.C.L is better than. I think that they are having very good and innovative ideas.
No, you are our role model, sir.
Sir, we try to follow you. We always try to follow you.
Any question that somebody want to ask, we can just interact. Is there any scope for, or in valedictory section we do
If
not?
anyone is having query, kindly ask, sir. You would get this
Sir,
opportunity.
Ma'am, if you allow, I would like to say something.
Yes, ma'am, kindly.
I would like to congratulate the coordinators of this program. Thank you so much for organizing such a wonderful program through which we were able to hear so much eminent personalities like Chaube sir, just like I heard him right now. And it was, as you said, that it was nostalgic to hear from his side. And I didn't feel that today it's Sunday or my time is going on. We didn't feel anything. And I think most of the participants, I think all of the participants would have been thinking like this only. And I am a researcher, sir, and I will make sure that whatever you have taught us, I will surely include it in my research and I will use the knowledge which you have given to us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, Chavan ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Chobe sir, for spending your valuable time on us. And happy Diwali. Happy Diwali to everyone.
Everyone, because now I think that this valedictory section is in between their Diwali celebration, and because after this valedictory session, they will be relieved to celebrate the Diwali. Already, I think the Diwali celebration has been started.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful and unique session, as usual, sir, and always
you have organized
your guide and mentor to all of us in law fraternity, sir.
I think that this is the second time you are organizing such type of session. No?
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. You are making us jealous. Huh?
It is boon. It is boon in disguise having online. So all the great experts and stalwarts, we can hear them.
Yeah. That is very good things, because now online is always been appreciated nowadays. Even court is also adopting this policy to go for online. Why don't we should go for that and break up this physical boundaries? Only one thing is that most of the time connect is the problem in online most of the time, and it is very tough to find out whether the person is really online or he is making fool of us to make that he is online. That is only
those who are sincere, they really achieve something.
Yes.
And the finders are keepers. Like
Thank you.
Over to you, Prachi ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Today we also have with us today's guest of honor, very young, dynamic, and Dr. Shahista Inamdar ma'am. She's associate professor from Navjivan Law College, Nashik. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Prachi ma'am.
Dr. Shahista Inamdar ma'am is associate professor at Navjivan Law College in Nashik. She has also shouldered the role of principal at Navjivan Law College, and she is having nearly 14 years of teaching experience. Her specialization is in field of business law and human rights. Along with this, her expertise extends to family law and feminist jurisprudence also. She has participated in numerous national and international seminars and conferences, totaling 70 of her, totaling to 70. Along with this, she has published 30 research papers also. And the number keeps on increasing, multiplying each and every year. She focuses on the topic of gender justice, position of the women in the society, Muslim women, feminist jurisprudence, and human rights. She has been awarded with Best Teacher Award in 2021 from Institute of Scholars in Bangalore. And she has also received Real Superwoman Award in 2020. She was honored with Virangana and Rani of Jhansi Award, followed by Karma Yogini Awards in 2023. Congratulations, ma'am. Also, she has represented India on global stage, participating in United Nations event at Nairobi Summit 2019 in Kenya and an event in Moscow in 2023. And she will also represent at South America in the coming month of November 2024. Best luck for that, ma'am.
Wow.
Her international acclaim is further highlighted by her ongoing pursuit of postdoc from Italy. Ma'am, you are really a role model for all of us.
Great achievements, madam. Congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
There are so many feathers in your cap, ma'am.
Let us continue with our topic. Thank you so much. It was a great honor that you introduced me.
And ma'am, we are also so much blessed to have you today as speaker. And congratulations from behalf of Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh Family of Law.
Yes. Thank you so much. Really an honor for me to join this family of P.D.C.L. As I am not belonging to Amravati, but basically now I feel that, another Maher तेच आहेत आमच्या अमरावतीचं आमच्या वर्षा मॅडम जी आहेत ना तिथे.
Yes. Your daughter of Amravati.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And now I start with the session, and really a great opportunity and a great thing that which I see from P.D.C.L. and Dr. Varsha Deshmukh madam being a great leader who is coming up with such innovative ideas and having such a different variety of courses which all the students and all the faculty members all over the country, they are joining for this session. So respected patron, principal, coordinators, chief guest, and generally we call Bhishma Pitama of law that our Chobe sir is, and really having great knowledge. And almost he had covered up many things, but still a small token which I have been given the opportunity. So let me focus on recommendations and utility of legal research in the future. So today we are in the digital era of focusing artificial intelligence. If we check online, we get many databases. As rightly sir had also said about ChatGPT, there are many like Remini and all. So if we see legal research, what it is, it underpins the justice system. It aids the lawyers in building arguments and informs policy making. We all know as a LLM student, PhD, many dissertation, your articles, publication, everywhere research, legal research is very important. Now, what we generally do is we generally take any of the topic, we search on the Google, yes, and we get many of the databases and there we just copy paste. But as rightly said by Wilson Misner, that if you steal from one author, it's plagiarism. But if you steal from many, it's research. Basically, but you have to be very smart enough while you are quoting somebody. If you are copying somebody, you should quote that particular person. Then you would be out of this plagiarism. So rightly said in People versus Wells, artificial intelligence tools like ROS helped various attorneys in USA also, and it has covered many precedents that significantly influence the various case laws and various outcomes. Like when we are saying artificial intelligence, on one hand, it is very helpful. We all know many platforms, right? But it was COVID-19 which made us come together more digital, was COVID-19, so that from anywhere we can get connected and we can get plethora of laws and plethora of online databases wherein it is very helpful for us for the research. Now, I would like to quote companies like Lex Machina, which also offers insights into litigation trends, and judicial behavior, enabling the attorneys to predict cases outcomes. A firm using such apps or such platforms were able to strategize various rulings for patent cases and resulting into various favorable settlements. When we talk about future utility of legal research, three things are very important. First one is it enhances the efficiency. Secondly, it improves access to justice. And thirdly, it is giving us the data-driven decision making. So, I would like to quote Everlaw. Everlaw, it is one of the tool which is improving case management and research capabilities. In US versus Microsoft Corporation, the integration of these tools allowed for more streamlined of discovery of the processes. Organizations like LegalZoom and Rocket Lawyer provide low-cost legal services to the public, helping individuals navigate simple legal matters without any traditional barriers. One more case law I would like to quote is Apple versus Samsung Electronics Company. It illustrates how data analytics informed legal strategies, with lawyers using such analytical tools to track patent litigation, patents, and arguments. Law firms that adopt such kind of AI tools like Baker McKenzie reported a 20% of increase in efficiency of legal research, wherein we are talking on one side the negativity of AI, but there is many of the thing which is having a positive approach too. Legal professionals should really utilize and invest in training and resources of such tools. I have also read the details of, that your librarian person who have taken your lecture, they have also informed you what are the different tools which you can utilize and which will help you doing the research. But what is important, as Shobe sir has rightly said, proper citation, your bibliography, what are, like if you're copying from ChatGPT, you are not getting it from which book you are referring. So for research, what is important is which book you are referring, which articles you are referring, case laws, their citation. This is very important and mandatory to be put forth in your research. And then only you will be out of the clutches of the plagiarism. One more case law which I would like to highlight is Carpenter versus United States. Data privacy laws were being evolved from this case. What is important is ensuring the accuracy and reliability. Both is important. Brady versus Maryland had also said underscores the critical need for accurate research. See, evidence matters a lot. You also need whatever you have taken it, jot it down. You have to inform that from where you have taken. Like I have shown you a positive approach. Now I would like to take you towards the journey of challenges. There are information overloaded. You just put it, thousand of case laws, thousand of materials, thousand of articles are been there. But what is important is you should know what is the accurate one, what is to be quoted. And many a times it happens is that whatever decision, if we are saying, we are writing it down, it has been overruled. So even that we should be knowing. So keeping up with the rapid changes, you need to know what is the recent development in the law. So Roe versus Wade is a very important case law which I would like to quote here, that how quickly a legal research can be outdated. So you should know the importance of that legal research. You need to balance the automation with human judgment. Human oversight is very essential in interpreting the various complex issues. Like if we say that Keshwananda Bharati's judgment, how many judges were there? 13 judges were there. Basic structure doctrine, and as rightly said by Chobe sir also, 18 points of research, very important and very pertinent that he was discussing. Legal research is undergoing significant changes due to technology and societal needs. The importance of accuracy is very important, and simultaneously, ethical considerations and continual learning cannot be overstated. Now, at the end of the conclusion, future of legal research promises to blend innovative technologies with traditional legal practices, fostering greater accessibility and efficiency. Underline. This is very important. Technology is a must, but you should prioritize your ethical standards. This is what I would like to quote for this particular research. And at the end, what is important is in the research, honesty is important. Whatever you are taking, you have to show that from where you have taken. जीवन में अभी असली उड़ान बाकी है, हमारे इरादों का भी इम्तिहान बाकी है. अभी तो नापी है हमने थोड़ी मुट्ठी भर जमीन, अभी तो नापने के लिए पूरा आसमान बाकी है. So definitely in this valedictory session, I would like to appreciate the organizers that they have taken so much of efforts, that almost 10 coordinators are there for this program and 21 eminent scholars who have guided you. So at the end of this session, I would really like to appreciate the organizers, the team, to have taken so much efforts for this program, and I congratulate you for this great achievement, and many more feathers to PDCL and the leader, Dr. Varsha Deshmukh ma'am. With your blessings, ma'am, after 3 days, I'll be leaving for South America, and I'm expert panel member there, and I'll be focusing on gender justice and feminist jurisprudence.
All the very best.
Thank
Lot
you,
of
thank you.
blessings and best wishes. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable guidance and time. It was truly an insightful guidance for all of us. And all of us have understood a very important lesson today, that ethics should not be compromised at the cost of anything. So thank you very much, ma'am. Now I would like to call upon the principal of our institution, Dr. Varsha Deshmukh, madam, to address all of us.
Thank you. Am I audible? Thank you
Yes,
so
Yes,
much.
ma'am.
So I welcome you all again for this wonderful valedictory session. The chief guest of today's valedictory session, who is the guy always guiding light of all of us in SGBAU Amravati University. Then the guest of honor of today's valedictory session, Shaista Madam, Dr. Shaista Madam, who is a rising star in the legal fraternity, and all my the coordinator who really took efforts, the convener of this course, Dr. Bhagyashree Deshpande Madam, who meticulously planned, applied all the research tools, and then the outcome, the success of this research course is her efforts. And as aptly and rightly said by 21 scholars who had, we really had a academic feast and brainstorming sessions, all this right from the 1 month, and all the coordinators, because of their enthusiastic participation, this course has become more successful. Dear participants, again, I won't be repeating the things, but it has given you insight that how the research methodology in law is crucial for the systematically analyzing the legal issues, developing sound arguments, and ensuring accuracy and validity in legal scholarship is the outcome of research methodology. It enhances the analytical skills, and it equips the researcher with the skill to enhance their knowledge. They go through all a variety of cases, case laws, the statutes, and the legal precedents, and they apply it effectively in their research. and fostering a comprehensive understanding of the legal principles. And that is the outcome of legal research. It improves the quality of legal research by employing the structured methodology. Legal research can produce well organized, evidence based, and logically sound analysis, enhancing the credibility and reliability of their findings. So, this also important aspect that researchers develop through this course. Then the reforms, it reforms the policy and the legal reforms. When we talk about the legal reforms, the scholars has to identify the gaps, ambiguities, or the outdated aspects in existing laws. It is guiding reforms and helping in the development of the policies and address the contemporary legal challenges, which is the need of an hour. And the research supports the human rights and justice in law. It provides the accurate research methodology, which allows for the thorough exploration of issues like women's safety, which is the burning issue nowadays after the Kolkata and then Badlapur incidents. Then it is also exploring it enables the researcher to formulate the well supported arguments to protect rights and ensure the justice. And of course, it facilitates the cross disciplinary insights. Legal methodology often involves comprehensive and interdisciplinary research, which allows legal scholars to draw many conclusions from the various fields and broadening the scope of analysis and contributing the innovative insight into the legal studies. It helps to understand the research methodology, which is essential for law students and academicians, as it forms the basis for the legal trainings and helping them to develop a structured approach to the legal reasoning and the case studies. I just would like to categorically say here that a systematic research approach ensures that the findings are not only theoretically sound but also practically relevant, and it contributes to the integrity of legal system and advancing the social justice. So various stalwarts, various experts who really gave their wonderful output to our students, may it be the fraternity, may it be the students, research scholars, PhD research scholar, PG students, or the students, or the teaching faculty. So we really got so much out of this course, and I really congratulate all the team who have toiled throughout this month, Dr. Deshpande and her team. And I also express my great high gratitude to those who have given the response to our request and enthusiastically participated to complete this course, to make it successful. And I'm indebted to all uh, those who have supported for this course. And I thank each and everybody. And then I hope that it must have benefited everybody for their future journey in the research. And I congratulate once again. Thank you so much, Dr. Chobe, Shaista Madam, and everybody present here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Your guidance is always valuable to us. It's your visionary leadership that always motivates us to organize these kinds of programs and to participate in such programs. Ma'am, now I would like to move towards the formal conclusion of this program. And therefore, I would request Dr. Deshpande ma'am, the convener of this program, whose efforts have resulted in the success that this program has been. So I would request Dr. Deshpande ma'am to give the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Vaibhav sir. Good day to all. At the outset, I submit my sincere and humble tribute and salute to Honorable Dr. Panjabrao alias Bhausaheb Deshmukh sir, founder president of Sri Shivaji Education Society Amravati. I, Dr. Bhagyasri Deshpande Navlakhe, Professor, Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law, Amravati, and convener of this certificate course on research methodology, interdisciplinary at national level, organized by Sri Shivaji Education Society's Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law, Amravati, during 28th September 2024 to 27th October 2024, is here to propose formal vote of thanks. Honorable Sri Harshavardhanji Deshmukh, Sir, President of Sri Shivaji Education Society and Patron-in-Chief of this certificate course. Honorable Sri Advocate J.V. Patil Pusdekar, Sir, Vice President of Sri Shivaji Education Society Amravati and Patron of this certificate course. Honorable Sri Dilip Babu Ingole, Sir, Treasurer of Sri Shivaji Education Society Amravati and Patron of this certificate course. Chief guest of this valedictory session, Honorable Vijay Kumar Chaubey, Sir, Professor and Head, Postgraduate Teaching Department of Law, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University, Amravati. Guest of Honor, Dr. Shaista Inamdar, Madam. Principal of our college, organizer of this certificate course and chairperson of this valedictory session, Dr. Varsha Deshmukh, Madam. All the participants, delegates, academicians who have joined this certificate course from various places and states from all over India. Organizing team,
Is there any internet problem?
towards Honorable Harshavardhanji Deshmukh, Sir, Honorable J.V. Patil Pusdekar, Sir, Honorable Dilip Babu Ingole, Sir, Honorable Dr. Vijay Kumar Chaubey, Sir, Dr. Shaista, Madam, and Chairperson of this session, Dr. Varsha Deshmukh, Madam. I am grateful to all resource persons, including inaugurator of this certificate course, who have contributed in the success of this certificate course through their immense knowledge and practical experience. I want to extend my sincere thanks to Honorable Dr. Ashok Kende, Sir, Dr. Umesh Aswar, Sir, Dr. Yograj Singh Bayas, Sir, Dr. Madam, Dr. Pankaj Umbarkar, Sir, Dr. Adhara Deshpande, Madam, Dr. Snehal Fadnvis, Madam, Dr. Revati Khokle, Madam, Dr. Kalpana Zavde, Madam, Dr. Amol Chavan, Sir, Dr. Vaishali Gurde, Madam, Dr. Hariyar Lunge, Sir, Dr. Vijesh Munot, Sir, Dr. Archana Gadekar, Madam, Dr. Atmaram Shirke, Sir, Dr. Shahnaz Bili Muria, Madam, Dr. Sandeep Nagrade, Sir, Dr. Sagar Soni, Sir, Dr. Sandhya Kalamdar, Madam, Dr. Priya Chopre, Madam, Dr. Shahista Inamdar, Madam, and Honorable Dr. Vijay Kumar Chaubey, Sir. I also extend my sincere thanks to the organizing team and my colleagues who have contributed greatly in the successful organization of this certificate course on research methodology organized by our college, Sri Shivaji Education Society's Amravati, Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law. I want to extend my sincere thanks to Dr. Radhika Deshmukh Madam, Dr. Prachi Kadu Madam, Dr. Hina Desai Madam, Dr. Gajasri Bodke Madam, Dr. Renuka Talukar Madam, Advocate Chaitanya Gawande Sir, Advocate Kirtiraj Savle Sir, Dr. Lakshmi Pawar Madam, Dr. Kirti Bajaj Madam, Advocate Vaibhav Ingle Sir, Advocate Ujjwal Mankar Sir, Dr. Archana Avgad Madam, who had contributed as the coordinators of this certificate course. I want to express my special thanks to Advocate Sandeep Wankhede, Sir, Coordinator of LLM Department at Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law, Amravati. I also express special thanks to our technical experts, Sri Sahil Bhau and Sri Praveen Bhau Misal. I am also thankful to all teaching, non-teaching staff and the faculties of our college I am especially thankful to all the participants, delegates, and eminent personalities who have joined this research course and contributed their sincere and fruitful efforts to make this program successful. I am grateful to all respected participants and delegates for their calm and sincere participation throughout this certificate course, and I request them the same cooperation and coordination in future with our institution. They are requested to make a tie uh, continue the same tie with our institution in future also. Last but not the least, I am grateful to all who have directly or indirectly contributed in successful organization of the certificate course on research methodology interdisciplinary at national level organized by Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh College of Law, Amravati, and with the able guidance of organizer Dr. Varsha Deshmukh Madam. Thank you. Thanks to all. Thank you so much.
Well done, madam. Congratulations, madam, again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Happy Diwali to all.
Yes, yes, a happy Diwali to everybody. We are on the threshold to celebrate.
Yes.
Yes, the session is over now. Thank you.
Yes, madam. Thank you. And now I will share feedback link, and participants are required to submit feedback link as they have submitted for the previous sessions. And final feedback link will be shared on WhatsApp group, and also quiz test will be shared on WhatsApp group, and you have to submit quiz test between 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. and final feedback form between 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. It is mandatory to submit final feedback form and quiz test for all participants. Otherwise, it may result into issuing of a certificate of your name. You may you may face difficulty in getting certificate. So please do submit final feedback form and quiz, which I will share on WhatsApp group. Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind cooperation and kind gestures and calm and patient listening throughout the beginning to the concluding session of this certificate course. Thank you. Thank you so much.